the Copa America has come to a close and we now have our new champion, that's right. But what about my predictions that were made earlier in the calendar year? How close was I in the groups? How close was I in the knockout stages? Today, we're going to turn the clock back and find out. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we're going to take a little look back and react to my early door predictions for the Copa America now that we have our winner. That's right, we'll get into it, all of it. If you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe and your one-stop shop for Copa America, World Football, Blackburn Rovers. We got it all here under one roofski. Of course, fascinating tournament, some surprises along the way, including Canada, Venezuela, and of course the major disappointment of the USA in their own backyard. Goodness gracious me, what did I predict early in the competition, early in the year? We'll get to that in a minute. Big shout out to the VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you're new, smash that subscribe, boys and girls. Your one-stop shop for football business is right here. So let's, of course, turn the clock back to my early door predictions. Now, these are videos that are out there in the hemisphere, in the YouTube world, so make sure you check them out, of course. So these were my early door predictions, including score lines. And we're not going to go over that. We're just going to go over the placements now. Yes, so we'll test your memory skills out first and foremost to see if you can remember what the actual positions was. So in Group A, now these were of course made before the final conclusion of the nations that were selected. We of course did have Canada coming in here to join the other CONCACAF nations to be represented. So Canada were expected to be that fourth nation. I have them in there in fourth place. So how wrong was I? Of course, Canada absolutely phenomenal in this group. Peru in third. They actually finished in fourth. And of course, I went with Chile second, and more than likely Argentina top bills. And of course, that'll come through in just a second. This is, of course, the actual group. As you can see, got the winners right. But that's pretty much it, to be honest with you, because Canada were a surprising inclusion to this competition. They made it through to the qualifying phase, and of course were phenomenal, making it through all the way through to the semi-finals. Wow. That's, of course, Group A. What, of course, happened into Group B? Can I get over there? Yes, I can. Hop on over and take a little look at this one then. So if you turn the clock back to this group stage, you pleasantly reminded that Venezuela were the stars of the show. That's right, coming out on top on this group. That was not my expectation. My expectation was for them to finish bottom of this because they have been the chief whipping boys of South American football for a long time. And as you can see, the theme for this one was going to be Mexico and Ecuador to be top bills in my eyes. I had Ecuador first, Mexico second, the Reggae Boys in third because I thought the stars would show up, but still I didn't anticipate them to be as bad as they were, and Venezuela in fourth. How did it all pan out? Well, take a look at this graphic. Venezuela top. Ecuador did go through in second spot. Mexico were a bit of a disappointment in third, and the Reggae Boys were just woeful in this competition as a whole. So not great for me in Group B. In fact, it's probably not great for me as a whole in this competition. Let's take a look at Group C then. We had Group C, and of course this was the group that had the US of A in it, who I tipped to go very far in this competition. I actually had them to go through to the finals, but we'll see the breakdown of my last 8 predictions in a second. This is the groups as you see it, and as it transpired in my Predicaroonies. I went with Bolivia to be bottom. I think that is correct. Any minute now. There you go. In fact, there it is on all its glory. I expected Uruguay to be top. I actually, in fact, had Panama as bottom, and I had Bolivia in third with the USA fourth. This is, of course, how it actually ended with Uruguay top. Got that one right. Panama were just phenomenal. Got through at second place ahead of the USA, who were a disappointment, and Bolivia dog shit extraordinaire. So the USA a joke to us all here, and of course we concluded the groups with Brazil. That's right, Brazil's group, who again were expected to be the main threat for this group, and also the main threat for maybe even Argentina in that final. But this is how, of course, how I predicted it in my eyes. I wasn't expecting much of a competition. That's Group D. What are we looking at here? Group D. What is this nonsense? Okay, there it is. Sorry, it's there. I was just a little bit... the graphic at the bottom is wrong. What is that all about? I think I did actually mention something about that, but... Okay, that's a bit of egg on my face. But realistically, I did have Brazil coming in here with 9 points in the end. Then I had Colombia coming into second spot with 6 points. I then had Paraguay losing to the CONCACAF representative, whoever that would have been. It was Costa Rica. And then, of course, Paraguay to be rock bottom. But this is actually how it actually transpired, with Colombia top of the charts with 7 points, Brazil second with 5, Costa Rica were third, Paraguay was fourth. So it probably was going to head end that way that I anticipated it. But the Brazil-Colombia thing is significant because Brazil were pretty poor in this tournament overall. Let's take a look at my quarterfinal prediction then for you here. We have start with Group A winners, Argentina in my eyes. They were going to take on Group B runners-up Mexico, but that, of course, was not the case. They actually took on, they took on the runners-up in Group B, but that was Ecuador, who I had taken on Chile. I had Uruguay against Colombia. That was, of course, a semi-final match, and Brazil against the US of A. And if you are a little bit foggy, this is what the actual quarterfinals did look like, and of course the resulting the results to those fixtures. So what about my semi-final prediction? Did I get that closer to the mark? Well, sort of. This is it right here, right now. As you can see, Argentina did make it through to the semi-finals. They did take on Canada, who of course came through after beating Venezuela in the quarters. Uruguay did get through, but they of course took on Panama in the. Did they take on Panama? They didn't. Uruguay came out on top after beating Brazil in that quarterfinals. And then the USA were a joke and nowhere to be found, of course. So pretty grim stuff there for me in the prediction stakes, of course. And as you can see, these were the official semi-finals on the screen right about now. So let's, of course, navigate to what made the final. Of course, in the video, let's hop on over. Of course, my expectation was this, a video such as this, or a prediction such as this. The USA taking on the Argentinians for a spot of glory, but it wasn't the case. It was Argentina and it was Colombia in the end. So as you see, you know, I did anticipate Argentina to be the main contenders for this bit of glory. Colombia were a refreshing surprise, of course, in my eyes, getting eliminated in my early door predictions back in the quarterfinal stages. Uruguay, of course, were, you know, semi-finalists, ended up finishing third in the end, so that could also be a tick in the box in my eyes. But the biggest disappointments in the whole tournament were the USA. Big let us down. I thought they were going to compete. It was in their backyard. They had all the players. They didn't have the coach. They've made the right move now by removing him from position, and hopefully now the USA can use these next 2 years to turn this situation into a positive and maybe, just maybe, go very, very deep into the World Cup in their own backyard in 2026. But for me, this is, of course, a closure now. Put a tick in the box. We end this coverage of Copa America, and of course, we look forward to the next tournament, whenever that may be. But until then, subscribe, smash the like, catch you later. What do you think about my predictions? And of course, your own predictions. Did you, of course, predict the winner? Of course, but that's, just let me know down below. But until then, subscribe, catch you later. But until then, we are done.